Hey everybody, this is Loli Jane, animal communicator and energy healer from animals-speak.com, and you're listening to Loli Jane Animal Communication Podcast, the show that promises to open your mind and heart to the amazing world of animal communication, energy healing, and what I like to call interspecies therapy. Thanks for joining me. In today's episode, I'll be talking about interpreting what your animals are trying to tell you. If you've ever been perplexed by what your animal is trying to show or tell you, then this podcast is for you. I hope you enjoy the show. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a certified international professional animal communicator and pranic energy healer, but I'm also a channeler, medium, empath, and teacher. I offer remote and in-person animal communication, whether they are alive or in spirit. I also offer pranic energy healing for trauma, injuries, pain, illness, disease, and behavioral and emotional issues for both humans and animals. For the humans, I can also provide spiritual guidance by channeling your angels and guides or innate body, and even do a past life regression. And if you've ever wanted to become an animal communicator, I teach animal communicator training workshops and provide one-on-one mentoring. Check out my website for workshop schedules at animals-speak.com or at mindbodyspiritworkshops.com. We all know what a happy animal looks like when they are joyful and playful. Whether it's a dog wagging their tail, or your cat looking happy or playful, or your horse enjoying running around the paddock, or even your bird singing a happy tune. However, many animal caretakers and pet parents will get stumped when it comes to figuring out what the behaviors mean, what certain behaviors mean. What are they trying to show or tell you? Whether it's tail slapping, whining, meowing, or even repeated stereotypic behavior of horses or other animals, most animal caretakers and pet parents will turn to the internet to Google search what their animal's behavior is trying to communicate to them. The only problem with this is we are making the assumption that all behaviors from the particular species that you have of animals all means the same thing. If you listen to my other podcasts, you may have heard me talk about cookie-cutter approaches not working. Most animals are a lot more individualized than we give them credit for. I can tell you firsthand from talking to animals that your animals are so much more individualized personalities than you give them credit for. So naturally, they will have certain specific ways of communicating to you. And just like humans, sometimes it's profound just to be heard and acknowledged. This shows them that they are respected as a being. When our pets or animals are close to us and live with us, they will first test you out to see if you're listening, how well you respond to what they're showing and telling you. They will try out different body gestures and different methods just to see how you react. So there's a lot of different scenarios that can go on here. So first off, you have no reaction. There's no reaction from you in the case of someone not paying attention. So they'll try something different until they get your attention. Sometimes they will get louder. Their behaviors will get louder, and they'll even move their body more to get your attention if they need something immediately. The second case is, what if you misinterpret the signs? So signs misinterpreted. So what if you're paying attention, but you think they're showing or telling you one thing when they mean something entirely different? I've had a lot of clients, and this is the case after I talk to the animal. In this case, they will try to use a different method or a different behavior since you didn't get the last hint correctly, and they'll use a different body gesture or sign to try to tell you the same thing that they've been trying to tell you. If you're still not getting it, you may do a Google search to see what these behaviors mean, which is typical of what we do. Or you may catch on to what your animal is trying to tell you. For example, even though I'm an animal communicator, I'm not always tuned in or sometimes in a rush or not paying attention to my dog. So my puppy has all kinds of signals for me that we've worked out together for different needs. And since we have lived together, she and I have worked out the signals that work best for both of us. The ones that I can get when I'm in a rush and I'm not doing my animal telepathy thing, just like regular people. And my puppy will point her head in whatever direction she wants me to focus my attention. And that for me, she'll look me in the eye and then point the head. And that for me is great because this is my profession. I can also confirm if I can stop and tune into her telepathically. I can also confirm that that's what she wants if I just take that minute to focus. So I can confirm that this is what she's been telling me, and by telepathically communicating with her and ask her if this is what she meant. So by getting these confirmations from her, I know next time what each and every signal means without any telepathic exchange. Now, I know some of you are adept at communicating with animals, but it's okay if you're not. If you're not adept at telepathic communication, don't worry, I can help you. So how can animal communication or animal telepathy help? As an animal communicator, I can do a session and talk with your animal and ask exactly what they mean when they're doing a specific behavior. I remember what I said, and I've had many, many cases. It's not the cookie cutter approach. Sometimes it is. A lot of times it's not. By talking to your animals, I can find the exact root cause of a particular issue, which might vary greatly in each animal and what they need from you and what they're showing you. This way, you're finding out firsthand what the behaviors and signs and signals mean rather than relying on the cookie cutter behavioral approach, which says that all animals of each species are all the same, which we know is not true. So what is animal communication? Animal communication is direct telepathic communication with the animal using thoughts, images, words, and anything to do with the five senses. So instead of guessing what your animal is saying, I can directly communicate with your animal and find out what it is they're trying to tell you and what they need from you. And an animal communication session can also be done remotely at a distance. This means I can help your animal no matter where you live. So how can animal communication help? So first we have signs and signals. So if they're showing or telling you something, I can find out what it is. I can ask about whatever signals that they're giving you and what they need from you. And this is great, especially if you have a new pet or an animal, or even you're doing foster care for an animal. This way I can tell you exactly what they're trying to communicate with you, especially if the animal's new to you and you don't know them well. The other thing is physical needs. If they're showing you a behavior which is related to a physical pain or discomfort, I can find out what area of the body hurts, when it started, how long they've had it, and even get a pain level from a body scan. If they're showing you signs and signals of something going on emotionally, I can find out how they're feeling emotionally, get all the details of when it started, how long, how they are feeling, and most importantly, find out what they need from you. For more on this, listen to episode 3. The next thing is animal mirroring. Sometimes your pets or animals will be giving you all kinds of signs and signals, but it's not for them. Rather, they are pointing out something you need to work on. It's not about them, but you. This is called animal mirroring. Your animal may tell me that they've been trying to get your attention for a while now, but the emotions are not their own. They're trying to tell you, they're human, something about yourself. Animals sometimes show you behaviors to alert you how you are thinking or acting, or even physical issues you may have. Your beloved animals, especially dogs, are in service to you and will go to any lengths and means to be of service to you. Take this very seriously, the animal mirroring. So for more on animal mirroring, listen to episode 5. The next is deepening relationships with your animal. Another great benefit of using Animal Communicator, like myself, is to deepen the relationship and bond between you and your animal. When animals are heard and respected, the bond and trust blossoms. They know they're being listened to and that you value whatever they are bringing. Many human-animal relationships improve just being heard and acknowledged. So in review, an animal communicator session can help with the language barrier between you and your animal, and as an interspecies interpreter, tell you exactly what your animal is trying to bring your attention to. Even after one session, you show your animal that they are heard and acknowledged, deepening your bond, and will now definitively know what behaviors or signals your animal is communicating to you. Whether it's to go outside, to go for a walk and get some exercise, to do their business, to get attention, or to get your attention for a behavioral or physical and health issue. And as we talked about, they may be desperately trying to communicate something to you to help yourself, as in the case of animal mirroring. Here's a great testimonial. So this testimonial is with a shepherd mix trying to communicate what his needs were through fear and peeing behaviors. Thanks to Loli's work with the energetic yet uncertain 19-month-old rescue dog, I have learned so much and developed a much deeper understanding of Toffee's personality and needs. The first thing was that I needed to change the name of the animal shelter gave me, and then I needed to work with him on a more gentle and understanding basis so we could become a team. I am so grateful because after a couple of weeks, Toffee has become happier, his potty training issues have disappeared, and he's proudly walking by my side. He expressed what he thought his sole purpose was to Loli, and know that I now believe that can help achieve and exceed what he thinks it's capable of. As a result of our work with Loli, Toffee is rising to all occasions, more accepting of our cat, and also settled emotionally and more in sync as a unit. I look forward to communicating with Toffee again later and check in to see how he perceives himself after I implement his findings from Loli's initial communication with him. CS, Simi Valley, California. The next testimony I have is a Tennessee Walker horse named Smoke, who would originally run from his person. Thanks to Loli, I have a better understanding of Smoke and therefore a closer connection. This was a unique experience, and I recommend to anybody who doesn't understand or know how to connect with an animal but wishes to learn and grow. You are extremely thorough and professional. Smoke doesn't blink at me anymore like he was doing. I spend more time with Smoke, just hanging out with him, checking out both of our energies, and I have noticed Smoke is running more often, and I noticed and attend to my own energies. Thank you, Loli. DD, Park City, Utah. That brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you learned a lot on this amazing insight about interpreting what your animal is trying to tell you, as much as I love doing it. Be sure to subscribe for more amazing episodes. Book your animal communication session to learn what your animal's signs and signals mean, or check out my upcoming workshops and classes. For more information, please visit my website at animalsspeak.com or animals-speak.com, or Loli Jane animalcommunication.com, or mindbodyspiritworkshops.com for my workshop and class schedule. Please subscribe to my monthly newsletter for invites, classes, workshops, events, and the latest podcast. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, as well as opening your mind, heart, and spirit to your deep connection with your beloved animals. Join us next week for episode 34 on horse whispering. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, like, and rate us. As always, love and gratitude for listening to the Loli Jane and Healing Podcast. This is Loli Jane. This podcast was created, produced, recorded, researched, and edited by Loli Jane, and this is a product of Loli Jane Animal Communication and Healing.